Test. Cool. Looks good. Looks good. Output. Let's make sure. Let me add a filter gate to this real fast before we move on. Filters. Oh, noise gate. Does this work? I think this works. Okay. Cool. Let's make sure it sounds okay in the chat thing or in the. Oh, we don't want that thumbnail either. Whoops. That's my bad. Let me. Change the thumbnail. Change. Want any of these thumbnails? We'll just do this real fast before we go. Change. Want to put that one in. See, hear myself. Make sure we're testing. This works. Does this work? Does this work? Does this work? Cool. And we actually sound half decent, so. All right. I didn't know my thing could do that. No. Also, like the coolest McDonald's I've seen. So there's that, and the snow and stuff starting up already. So get going. But no, this might be one of the coolest McDonald's I've been at in a while. So but yeah, let's. Oh, this is the entrance. Yeah. Here's McDonald's. It's 2 lanes. It works. Camera off. So, anyways, this is gonna be pretty much a more chill stream than before. It's kind of be a test to see how this does in winter weather. If it looks good, we're going to probably expand to streaming on YouTube or Twitter. If it doesn't look good, obviously we got some work to do, but then we'll figure it out. But we're headed up to the UP, the UP. We'll zoom in a little bit. We'll have it track myself, navigation. Or no. We're gonna zoom in quite a bit on us here. See if that looks. That should look a lot better. So. Anyways, yeah. We are going to go north out of the Dells. We were just in Lake Delton. Like I said, that was probably one of the coolest McDonald's I've ever seen. So there's that. This is also kind of a test to see if my new setup here works. Um, yeah, 'cause I don't know. Really don't know what the battery life looks like right now. Looks pretty not great, to be honest. Um, Luckily we have a battery we can plug our stuff into. We're gonna need to go north eventually. We're mostly going a lot more west than I really wanted to go, but whatever. Where's this route go? We'll just get on 90 and go down and exit and then hop back off. So, yeah. A little different than what we were seeing in. Dropping a lot more frames than I really thought I was going to here. Um, Recover is kind of going to become an issue, I think. We are streaming at 9,000 kilobits per second, I believe it is. So, any lower that is now we are within the winter weather advisory. I've read it earlier. Basically, all it said was that hey, there's weather. Um, yeah. Well, that's right. Do I need to? I need to test that out too, or check that out. Um, Test this. This is pretty much a stream to test everything out. That's what I thought. All right. Nothing. Really? All right. We're gonna have to figure this out here. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, let's figure this out here. So yeah, the chat does not appear to be working out correctly. We'll fix that once we get off the highway here. Let's see what I can do about that, because I was intending for the chat to pull automatically from the stream, so that when I combine streams, it doesn't. If I combine streams, I can see the chat from all of them combined, and it pops it up. But apparently, that is not the case. Not sure why. But anyways, let's see what we can do about that. Linden Station. I'm hoping this laptop charger is I thought that charger also only pulls like 70 watts, maybe at most 80. But we'll have to see, because math might not be. Like, it's kind of weird how like the chargers, they can output so much amount, but there's only so much the laptop takes. So you lose some and they'll transfer there, and I really don't know what gets to the laptop, right? Um, but anyways, not bad. I feel like the frame rate's low. What is this route? Let's only check out what's going on in the chat. So me, full. I want the road I can just kind of continue down. I don't need to make a 3-point turn, because you can just kind of go exploring then. Down this road here. 60th Street. There's actually quite a bit of grip on this road. Anyways, let's try to figure out where we can just kind of pull off to the side. We're still gonna be able to be seen. Make the quick adjustments. It's not gonna take a whole lot of time, but I want to be able to be seen by everyone else on the road, and this is probably gonna be the best place to do it right here, actually. Someone's not like flying side. I don't want to get stuck is the issue. All right, quickly. Oh, this cord is more like fonts. Can get a little loud here for a second as I'm quickly throwing everything in together. Take this one, go in, and can go in here. Um, and then we will also change. Oh. Remove this, and not do that one. Ding. Okay, there we go. We're off. I have this working out now. Need to have. Winter driving's a lot different than well, depends, right? I mean, it can be very different. It can be pretty the same depending on how you drive. It changes the way I drive a lot. It's a lot. I think it's a lot similar to driving on dirt or gravel, especially for a front-wheel drive car. Um, but that's just my personal preference. And yeah. per mile. Please edit the map or suggestion. But yeah, so see what happens. Trying to determine they're at 7. And this road isn't bad, but it probably will not become great once the snow starts up here. So stop. So what the? Someone's going off that stop sign. There's a bunch of nails and stuff sticking out. Come on. One of the few things I don't like about this car is the traction control. It doesn't work. It turns on. It doesn't work well for the snow. It turns on really at the most inconvenient times for no reason. And sometimes it'll turn on, it won't turn on at all when you actually need it. But I don't know what causes that. I've looked into it quite a bit and I can't figure out what it is, so. Anyways. Got a different way to take, because I've always, like, can take 39 whenever I want. But and the roads here are great. No issues at all. It's a little, like the shoulder here is probably a little questionable, but the road condition, like the main part of the road itself, is perfectly fine. So, anyways, I think this time I have the camera set up a little bit higher up, so I'm gonna have to compare that before and after. But yeah. To the right. Some of the trails must not be open yet. Oh, maybe they are. I've seen a place that was like hand off. I thought it was weird. Somewhere in Wisconsin 82. Um, so far so good. Road conditions are still fine, but I guess is the worst of it won't happen until a little bit later in the drive, about 4 o'clock or so. So we got about 3 hours to start making our way north. I'm hoping there to end up in the UP by then. But we'll see what happens. Looks like it's Wisconsin River. I think it is. That's what that is. One of the branches is completely froze over, and the main branch is pretty much still flowing freely. Oh look, it's a fog camera. Wow. Anyways, yeah. I have to add a counter for that eventually, but we'll do that later. Probably once we get a Steam Deck or Stream Deck, um, then kind of control that a little bit more. But anyways, next turn we have I-39 northbound. I think at this point we'll have to be north of the Endeavor Bridge. So there's that at least going for us. But you know, paved over those rumble strips. No. Yeah. 235 a gallon. That says that's wild. I thought I saw a car over there. Nope. Man, they have 2, 4, 6, 8 stop signs at that intersection. For really no reason. I guess they want to make sure people know to stop, but still, like, a little abundant, I think. We're also back in Adams County, so I don't technically think the winter weather advisory is in effect here. I think just the chat can tell me otherwise. Um, the scrolling bar says Adams County. I don't think it is. But yeah. Like just from estimates, we'll call it half an inch of snow here, maybe an inch. some areas where it's drifted over. I still see a lot of the grass, so I can't really like give. I can't really say there's a lot of snow here because there really isn't in all reality. I wonder if this is set to power. It's power efficiency. Oh, where did this fall down to? I don't know. It still works. Like, look like it's still working. Yeah, we are now out of the advisor, like I thought. But yeah, so far so good. Like I said, I'm not really expecting us to hit a lot of the weather, but you never know. Oh, successful. Cool. Good to go. And yeah, might have to rethink this though, the setup though. A little bit. I can see a couple of issues when it comes to power consumption, but uh, we will figure that out later. Now we're just trying to see, in theory, what we can do power wise, efficiency wise. So, anyways, yeah, like here you can see a lot of like the corn stalk, like things in the fields that they don't take out all the way. Um, so I'm saying, and you can see where the snowmobiles were running around before where the snow melted all the way down to where it's at now. See where the snowmobilers have been running in the ditch. We'll see more of that the further north we go. All right. We're still dropping frames, so we are definitely having an issue somewhere. Um, yeah. That's not going to be a way to go. I think I either extremely overestimated. I think I overestimated what we are able to pull in the CPU. We do have to use the 1570, which is fine, except you gotta figure out what the DirectX 11 issue is. I have a conflict somewhere, and it's causing a lot more issues than it was making me have all sorts of issues. It has something to do with the DirectX 11 and the Xbox Game Bar. There's some incompatibility somewhere in there, and that certainly is causing issues. I just don't know where to stop those issues at. So, anyways, I'll have to maybe look into that again tonight. But yeah. Now entering into Oxford, Wisconsin. I'm gonna still say there's probably about half to an inch of snow, half of an inch to an inch of snow on here somewhere. Places has a little bit more, especially where the snow's drifted up just a little bit. You can tell that's where it's been more towards about an inch. But you know, is what it is. The snowmobile trails have not been groomed lately. They have not been used lately. It looks like probably not enough snow in a lot of places to use them. Anyways, so yeah, Oxford. Oh, flat camera. Number 2 of the stream. Once you start to notice where they're at and how they're set up, I think you just don't stop noticing them. So yeah. That was an interesting political sign that hasn't been taken down. Interesting that one was. It was actually, you gotta give them a lot of credit. They put all that together by hand. I mean, you're gonna make a political sign and make it by hand. Fair game. But anyways, our tracks gonna be smooth. Yes, they are. We're off and away again. Three 0.8 miles to I-39 northbound. We will eventually burn through daylight, but um, see how far north we get before that happens. There's I-39. Mobile. I think I've stopped there before. I don't know why I would have though. I like quick trips way more. That dude was in a big hurry. 80 miles to US 51 north. Uh, Wisconsin 29 west. We are 5 miles from Westfield, 53 miles from Stevens Point, 84 miles from Wausau. Snow here is about the same. Call it, oh, half an inch of snow. Up to half an inch of snow here. Oh, there's a lot of the grass and stuff showing, and my guess is gonna be some bare spots. Further we keep driving. If it stays like this, at least we're gonna have some bare spots because, yeah. You have me at the mic. All right, we're back. Um, yep, we're back. Gotta remove. I'll have this up there. Let's try that. Um, yeah, it's just been moving right along. Other than the fact that I don't like how that radar picture looks. We're not in the warning. We're not in the advised area yet. We will be here soon, but we have a little bit of time. Rest area in 2 miles. I think I've slept here before. I think this is the one I slept at after the race in Madison this fall. Head up here. So I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that's what it is. So, anyways, but there's the state police. Anyways, I think there's always one sitting there every time I'm through here. Might be the same guy here, actually. I don't know. We're not quite the. I think we're coming to Portage County here soon. But we'll be moving right along. There we go. Try that. That might sound a little better. Might be a little louder though. So, hey, we're in Portage County. I'm pretty sure. Yay! I don't think we're making any further than Steven's point that driving through something here. So, um, just from watching, looking at the radar and my interpretation of what I see from outside, it's not gonna take much longer. So, anyways, see what happens. See what this says real fast. A mixed precipitation expected. Total snow and sleet accumulations range from a dusting south up to 2 inches north, and ice accumulations up to a tenth of an inch. North counties from 4 p.m. this afternoon to 3 a.m. on Monday, and the road impacts will continue into the Monday morning commute. So, yeah. There we go. We're back. Want to get a phone call to mute the mic, and I turn it off on both sides, and it takes a second for it to be fixed. Anyways, we are moving right along. I think there's ice down all the way up over the Mauston. It's gonna be here faster than I know it. Oh, it looks like rain. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Which it could be. It could be freezing rain. This is 23 degrees, so um, yeah. It is 23 degrees. Nope, we're in Portage County. Oh look, flock camera number 3. But anyways. Hmm. Alright, we're back. But out there in Portage County, I would say we probably have a little bit more snow on the ground. Looking around a little bit, I mean the shoulder has a little bit more snow on it. I would say it's probably about an inch, maybe an inch and a half in areas it's like covered by the trees where it doesn't really melt as fast. Like pretty much all the shorter grasses are covered up, just not like the long weeds and stuff. That field's pretty much covered up. I don't see anything sticking out of that field. So yeah, I'd believe maybe an inch to an inch and a half. Probably not much more than that, at least on the south end of the county. But yeah. And watch for low flying planes. Must be for crop dusting. Because once we get up to Wausau, there is an airport up there. But I'm gonna say I can definitely see the boundary. That I can see on radar at least. To the west of me. The radar site's probably, I don't know, Green Bay. I don't want to say 70 miles away. Well, it might be. But, anyways. Houdini probably lower the bit rate a little bit, but anyways. We're coming up to Stevens Points here now. We're in Plover, Wisconsin. Say about an inch of snow here. I'll probably go back to the inch and a half estimate. Maybe a little less in spots, maybe a little bit more. It just depends on like where you see it, where it's like where the snow's blown. You can definitely tell it's kind of blown a little bit. Some areas it's pretty low. Anyways, Del Monte. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an inch, just based off of what I've seen in this field over here to my right. No, because there's nothing showing on this side of the field. I don't know, man. Inch and a half. Final answer. We're getting pretty close to Wausau. Wausau. So, anyways. Let's maybe just do this. That is most definitely wrong. Quite a bit of traffic entering the highway here. We're going to slow down just a little bit. We got a truck alongside me here, else I would move on over. Nope. Got another one coming. And now we're off. Here's the airport to our right hand side. There we go. I wanted to let the first faster person on by, and I couldn't quite tell if these people were going the speed I wanted to go or not. Oh. Got another car here. We're going to pass here eventually. We got one car off our left hand side. Quarter. Door. Bumper. Clear. And we're going to jump back in line. Although these people around us fly. No, I've seen the Portage County Sheriff's Department hang out here on this bridge, actually, running radar. So, I've seen them there twice. And just like that, I think that is them. I know the script over here. They definitely have someone stopped on the hand side, on the right hand side up here. Is that the Portage County Sheriff's Department or is that the state troopers is the real question, because I really don't know. Oh, and he's out here walking around. It is the state police. I think they just merged on without signal. And he will be out and about. So yeah. We haven't had anything in terms of winter weather quite yet, but we're going to here soon. So actually, it's very dark. Out to the west. Because the radar site is east of us, the rain will be closer to us than what has appeared on the radar. So. I didn't see that car until that car in front of me went by him. This is what it is. Let's see what we got for weather. Yep, I'm not getting to. Might get there before we get in the snow. Also, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a helicopter to our 11 or 1 o'clock. Call it a mile, about 1,500 to 2,000 feet in elevation. Relative to the trees, it's right on top of the tree line. I don't know if you can see it or not. But anyways. Lake Dubay. Hey, we're outside of Portage County. Let's go. And that rain is here, according to the radar. So, helicopter's back to being visible again. 1 o'clock, right over the tree, or not over the treetops. About call it 4 miles now over the trees, and it's gone. But anyways, and we're back. So, anyways, hour 45 minutes into this, and now we're just starting into the weather. This is mostly a test to see how this does and not heavy precipitation, because the way we had the internet set up before, it definitely struggled. For pretty much the minute we got underneath the really heavy line of storms, we have no internet for about 15-20 minutes. And so, luckily, so far it looks like it's pretty good. Now we're in, I can't remember what county this is, but we're going to stay the same estimate, an inch and a half, to, or inch and a half of snow. Not a lot, not zero. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Uh, we'll say it has looked more and more questionable on the radar as we continue along. Um, so, not quite Cronin. We're at Cronenwetter. I don't know how you say this town's name, to be honest. We're lost. You can see where we're at on the bottom left hand side of the screen. As long as that still works. It's part of the test. And yeah. Anyways, we're just moving right along. Wausau is the next 8 exits. So, yeah. Also, I don't know why that color on the WeatherWise does not match the color in the overlay. I might need to relook at that again. So, anyways. Yeah, that's what it looks like up ahead, though. I'm sure it's a little more pronounced on the camera than it is in person, but anyways. Camping World. Rip the Camping World Truck Series. Oh no, it wasn't the Gander Outdoor. I don't know what it is anymore. That's wild. I can't remember what it is, but it used to be. Anyways, we're passing on to the village of Rib Mountain. Well, in Rib Mountain, you have about an inch of snow. Everyone so far has pretty much had the same amount. So, don't feel bad. Back to the left here, right hand side of the road. Speed limit goes down to 65 here. The Packers are still getting shut out, but that is because it is a rest day for the entire team practically. So, anyways, Yeah. 47 miles from exit 234. Miles Garrett breaks the sacks record. What does this guy have on his windshield? Yeah, something that lights up and flashes. I wonder if this is Uber. I think that's what it said. I think this is the ski hill to our left. This big hill here. I can't remember because you kind of drop down in the Wausau. But I can't remember the ski hill is. I always see it coming from the other side. I'm like, oh, there's a ski hill there, and I always come from this side. I'm like, I don't know where the ski hill is at. But anyways. Yeah, Granite Peak skier. So it must be on the left-hand side here. It's where this exits, so. Yep, it is. I can see the runs. Clear. Just watching the radar though, we're kind of like right on the edge of it all. We've been on the edge of it like the entire time. It's like Stupid's point. But yeah. Hope the Vikings go up another score, and the Packers are probably gonna get shut out. first time the radar picture shows though some precipitation actually over the road where we're at. So I keep saying it won't be long, but I think that now it actually won't be because, like I said, it kind of looks a little darker out there. But state police. Backing up. But anyways, I do love that the oh, flat camera. It's number 4 or 5. 2, 3, 4. Especially I want to make it to the quick trip in Rhinelander without having to get fuel. That is not going to happen, unfortunately. Also, there's a little bit of ice on the over across the yellow line. Now I kind of start to see it. So we'll have to pay attention to that. But anyways. Marker 200. Sure, you can come up with the Merrill, Wisconsin here soon. Merrill, Wisconsin. Merrill exits Q and 64. Crossing the Wisconsin River now. It's pretty froze over. There's a few little areas you can tell it's definitely not froze all the way through. But sure you get in there. It's 21 degrees. But the more current that flows through those streams, it takes a lot longer for it to freeze. I hear about every year where there's incidents of people falling through because they think it's the rivers and the streams are froze thick enough all the way across, and it turns out that it might be 8 inches thick in the sides of the bank on the bank, but the further out you go, it might only be an inch thick. So. Now, I see someone in the chat saying that why is it that the radar picture shows like there being rain we were just driving through, right? But there'd be nothing there. And the reason for that is that the radar site doesn't show. The radar site essentially just shows a 2D picture, right? So I think this is what is this, a 3-degree tilt? 0.4 degree tilt, right? So we're looking at basically a scan from the Green Bay radar, which just says 65 miles away, right? Make the math easier, right? So essentially what we're doing is we're looking at the picture not at the ground, but up in the air, 4/10 of a degree in elevation. Anyways, so really instead of just saying it's on the ground, you need to take the sine of 0.4 and then multiply that by 65 times 5280. We're looking at the picture half a mile up in the air, right? Which there could be rain, there could be enough rain in the air that far up, right? But it's not getting to the ground for whatever reason, right? There's a lot of moisture in the air, 2,300 feet in the air, but that moisture isn't getting here, right? Now, the closer you get to that radar site, the closer and closer you get to the ground, and it gets you a better and better picture. Which is why when you get far enough away, you can have holes, either caused by terrain or most commonly just because of distance, right? You're looking too far up and you're no longer looking at what's going on near the ground, you're looking at what's going on a mile in the air, right? Once you get to about 120 miles away, that's a mile in the air roughly, and now you're going to be not looking at a current picture. But anyways, there's just some math to share, some trigonometry. So anyways, you can kind of see, it's kind of interesting, you can kind of see what's going on in the radar in the clouds ahead of us. You can kind of see all the curves and stuff you're seeing in the radar, right? So that is a picture of a cat, of course covered by the radar, but there's a picture on the rear passenger window of a cat. Like, anyways, I thought it looked a little ridiculous, to be honest. Because it wasn't even like, it was like so faded though. Like it wasn't even like a cat anymore. It was just like a blue grayed out image, honestly. So anyways, the game plan is to still try to make it to Rhinelander before we need to get fuel. We do have the option to go to Tomahawk. Let's see here, we're still 20 miles from the exits. We got 20 plus 22. It's gonna be close on fuel. Get the Rhinelander and get on the other side of Rhinelander. We can always stop in Tomahawk. But anyways, we'll have to see. What happens. I'm hoping the stream won't go down in the time I get gas. It'll only take me like 5 minutes. But anyways, here's the Starlink. We won't have. Well, I should say we won't have any internet because A, you have the gas station canopy thing over the pumps, and then B, we're gonna turn off the car, right? And that's gonna cut my power to my internet. And it takes about a minute or two for it to reconnect. So we'll see what happens. See what happens for sure. Oh, on the other side of Merrill, Wisconsin here, we got about, again, I'm going to call it inch to inch and a half of snow. No. I don't know, it's hard when you're this far elevated from the ground. I'm going to lower the estimate, but I don't know how much yet. I'm going to say got a pretty big margin of error on this. I'm going to say half an inch to an inch and a half. Because some areas you can still kind of start to see the dirt coming back up. So I don't really want to say there's not much snow there, right? But in other areas, like especially looking like on like the stuff in the trees and stuff. Not on the trees themselves, but like in the grass and all the bushes and stuff. There's a pretty good amount of snow on there. So I don't really know, you know. Here's like you can kind of see a lot of the grass coming up. So that's what I'm going to say. There's going to be a pretty big margin between an inch and to an inch and a half. Should cover majority of it. So, anyways, continuing onwards to the north. And getting darker and darker out. But still no ice. Still no snow. So this is kind of a great example now of what I was just talking about, where the reflectivity shows there is moisture in the air 2,500 feet up in the air, right? But that doesn't, you know, that's not getting here. It's you're just staying in the clouds, doesn't have enough, there's not enough of it that needs to fall. It's just all in the clouds. Which is fine, you know, the less ice they get here, the better, don't get me wrong, right? This doesn't slow me down any. But, again, as you get farther and further away from the radar site, the less and less accurate you're going to have a picture, right? But on the other hand, I would have to imagine we're going to get some pretty soon. I know I've been saying that for probably an hour now, but it's true. I mean, I don't really know how much longer we can go without getting any precipitation. And with it being 21 degrees outside, it won't take a lot of moisture to freeze everything really fast, right? But especially if it's rain. and it comes down and instantly freezes on the surface, that's going to become a big issue. But if it doesn't, and turns into snow or something, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, right? But it just depends. Like, looking to the north, it looks darker out there. Has a lot of sand they dumped over there. But just have to wait and see. Not what. You can see some ice on this part of the road over here. On the right hand side, so this is definitely not quite. This is probably the most ice we've seen in the lane so far. That's not enough to worry about, but it's getting colder. It's been colder up here longer, and this is, like I said, this definitely, you can tell, hasn't really been. Man, it's been taken care of great, but there are some areas where you can tell the people haven't ran their cars down it more, and the more further and further north we go, the less and less people are driving through here. So. Something to keep an eye out on. Power. Anyways, tomahawk. People are definitely starting to slow down a little bit. Oh, that's a big update, by the way. Hasn't quite hit the laptop yet, but WeatherWise just changed everything basically to the west of us to sleet, and then freezing rain. There's some sleet up to the northwest, and then there's snow further north up than that. That update should hit the laptop here soon. That's actually probably a good good way to show how far delayed my laptop is. Four miles. Yeah, I don't really like that. Let's go to the one at Tomahawk. I want to get the Rylander, but we're just not gonna get there. So exit A for A. So anyways, I've been to Merrill before. I don't know if I've ever been to Tomahawk or not. But entering Tomahawk though, we have a lot more snow on the ground. I'm gonna say 1.5 to 2 inches. Near the highway at least. The trees are a lot more white. And overall there's just more snow. You can tell there's more snow. But anyways. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm not a precipitation type for common reflectivity. There we go. There we go. $231. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, why is this not updated? And I realized I was probably in reflectivity. But yeah, you can see what I'm talking about now. The red is freezing rain, the purple is sleet, and the blue, which you can barely see to the north, that's going to be some snow. The green is still rain. But, for how long, right? So, I don't mind the sleet, and I like the snow. I just don't like freezing rain. Not because it's like it just sucks to kind of drive in, and it's hard to know what how fast the conditions are going to change, and it really slows everything down. I'm gonna stay even more, so I'm gonna say three, maybe 2 and the 3 inches here now. There's a lot of snow here relative to what we've been seeing the whole 2.5 hours this far. So here's the Wisconsin River again. This kind of meanders around and does its own little thing. Here it's pretty much frozen across, but you can still there's some small shallow patches in the ice, or it's a different color and it's kind of easy to tell that's where it's going to be an issue. Ski area next right, Camp 10. I didn't know there's a ski area here. It doesn't really surprise me, but got a lot of ice here. Let's slow down while there's some traction. 2.8 miles to the quick trip. On traction control, you can do it. Front wheel drive car, we're not going anymore. Anyways, onwards. Oh, that dude slid. Oh, he barely made that turn. I saw the back end of his car kick out of that Jeep. I thought for sure he was not making it. It is a little more slick than I thought. Yeah, it is. A little icy. Like I saw that Jeep slide. I don't want to be like that Jeep. I've done it before, and yeah, I'm gonna say 2.5 to 3 inches. I think that's probably a fair estimate. The snow is up to even with the road in some of the areas of the ditch. So I really don't want to go any faster than this because the road conditions are not suitable to go any faster than this as much as everyone probably wants to do that. Two cars I see coming up behind me here, but it's just not worth it. Because it's like, you can tell I'm driving on partially on the asphalt, but there's even some areas that you can tell are just really slick in the asphalt. And if you hit the brakes really any harder than just barely tapping them, it moves the car around a lot more than probably it should. So, than what it's worth, dealing with, right? So. Anyways. Ishnala Country Club. Inishla? I think I said Ishnala, like the one, and the supper club by the Dells. Everyone's taking it slow because this part of this road kind of not great. Tomahawk. There's not a whole lot of slowing me down here. Here's Tomahawk. Roads are ice. And we haven't even had precipitation here yet, as far as I'm aware. They just did update one of those statements. So we'll have to read that once we get gas and I get everything back up running. So. Oh, there's some flurries. We are in snow. We're gonna get some snow for sure. We'll see how much. Yeah, I don't think I was gonna make it to the Rylander with a safe margin of error. So. trip though. The left here at the light. Alright, we will lose internet, so bear with me. We'll There we go. Reconnection successful, it says, right as we get in the car. It takes a while, so see someone actually spin out at the quick trip in the quick trip in not an exit. Okay. I'm not gonna exit that way then. We did see someone actually spin out entering the parking lot here. I don't know if that was actually caught. I wasn't caught on the stream because at that point we already had the power turned off to the internet, but it certainly is slick out there. I should say he didn't spin out coming into the quick trip. He spun out. Try and make the turn for this light. He was making a right-hand turn and didn't quite make it because there's a little bit of snow. So, anyways. See what we got here. We are underneath now the sleet section of what is being displayed on WeatherWise. So we do have that against us. And the car already is not happy about having to drive through this. So anyways, I saw they're updating all the weather advisories south of us here, and I was expecting them to update this one as well, but nope. Nope. They are just keeping this one as it was. So got a mile, and we're gonna make a right turn onto County Highway A. Back the way we came. So yeah. Thank you for visiting. Please drive safely. Come back soon. That's pretty neat, actually. Exit on the leaving the town side. I will drive safely. Thank you, town of Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Actually, it is a pretty small little town, as the snow is getting a little bit heavier. 35. I think the encoder's falling behind on snow, which could be a slight issue. Must have just plowed this. This is a lot cleaner than what it was on the way over here. I'm gonna say the encoder's falling behind, which was a slight concern. But we'll see. Some big icicles. Yeah, we're gonna have to find a way to encode on the 5090 or 5070 because that's not gonna cut it. Anyone knows why on OBS using a 5070 on a laptop causes really bad DirectX 11 errors? Let me know. It was bad. Oh, this dude's stopped. Oh, he's gonna make the turn. That's why. Why this guy stabbed this dude with the snow? Oh, I should have stopped beforehand. God, this turn was right here. As much as that does say it is sleet, it's gonna very much be snow. This road's still good to go. .4 miles, the US 8. Yeah. This is why we test. We're gonna run a test campaign, see if everything works out. Clearly we have to work on the encoder, which I kind of figured out was gonna be the case, but I thought we should just give it a try because I was not making any progress with it before. And clearly we got work to do. So should probably open with task managers to ensure that that's actually the issue, but yeah. The Intel graphics are topped out 100%, so we have to use the GPU. The actual like standalone GPU, which I wanted to use before, but due to, like I said, errors, I was having a hard time getting it to work. So because of that, we are limited to just the yeah, you can tell it really slows down and it really starts to struggle. Oh, 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 oh. You're all slowing down. Yeah. There's no reason to be in any big hurry, and this guy wants to tailgate me because, like, where am I gonna go? So, anyways. US 8. I wish I could see what was going on, but that dude wanted to pull out halfway out onto the road and I couldn't see. Oh, come on, traction control, let's go. It's a front wheel drive car. We only go straight. Oh, the police are here. Whoa, okay. Oh, that's because someone went into the ditch. Just gonna slow it down here. That dude almost slid right into me. Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. Report that on the ways. That's a slide off. The road's fine here again, so I don't know why it was bad for that one little portion. And then it was good to go since then, I mean. But anyways, actually I want to see how yeah, the encoder's really struggling along. I didn't realize how bad it actually was. This could get slick here. You know what happened though was that dude who slid off, he stabbed the brakes. And you actually saw it with me. I don't know how well that came across, but I hit the brakes to slow down for where that cop was, and my car slid out started sliding into the ditch. I let off the brakes, and it kept going the same direction, but I hit the gas and then straightened the car back up. But I can see how that SUV, there's a lot more weight getting shifted around, and I can definitely see how that can move around the SUV a little bit. So, Anyways, I mean, the sheriff's department was there, so they can take care of it. There's not much more I can do. So, anyways, yeah, we are struggling a little bit. Here is a passing lane. Doesn't look great. Turn that back on real fast. Get all the power I can out of it before it dies. The mirrors, that look a whole lot better. No, it doesn't. Okay. Anyways, Rylander, here we go. It's pretty funny. I got the Rylander Airport on GeoGuessr once, and I knew exactly where it was because I've been through here so many times. It's like, oh, I know where we're at. Easiest 5,000 GeoGuessr points ever. No. I can't say that. Easiest 5,000 GeoGuessr points that I got that no one else was easily able to get. And no one else did, and was even close. Especially for like airport GeoGuessr, which a lot of people I play with, they are pretty good at airports and stuff, so definitely was a accomplishment back then. So, yeah. I just think it's wild the slide off was there of all places. I mean, like, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, like I said, they moved the car around a little bit, but like, they had really slammed on the brakes for them to go that far off into the ditch. Oh, like that, that's all the power we're gonna get out of it. So, now back on power, battery power. That's gonna be our last charge of the day. So, probably gonna be able to get the Rylander, and that's about it. on the stream at least. But at the end of the day, this was supposed to just be a test for my curiosity, and we're gonna test it again, make sure we get everything right, make sure we get all the settings right. For snow especially, because snow is a lot harder, just because there's a lot more little fine details to put in. And we never tested in the snow, right? We tested with some rain. And even that, we really didn't test with any rain because by the time we get started the rain, the internet couldn't handle it, right? Now we're in a situation where the internet can handle it. For the light amount of snow, at least. So, anyways. There's a lot of people hitting the brakes, and that's a lot of people that will struggle driving in the snow. Snowmobile trail to the left has quite a bit of snow on it. Looks like it was just recently groomed. It's not have enough snow you probably can reasonably snowmobile. But anyways, we're at about 20%. Gonna be a long drive. I'm back. How the hell did we lose so much time? We only stopped for gas, and we lost half an hour. This could easily be one of the longest trips up here. I don't even know how. Like, yes, there's some snow and stuff, but we've had plenty of snow on the Christmas drives before, or the winter break drives before, and I have no issues. So I don't know what's causing this issue, what's causing this lengthy trip, for really no reason. I guess I had a little delay. I went to the Dells, that added probably a half hour, and then some snow. But in all reality, I don't know why that wasn't updating, so there you go. You can see the right lane line, so we're gonna move all right along. This is pretty well taken care of. I'm kind of camping in the left lane, but I think this lane actually is a little bit better anyways. This dude's really slowing down for really no reason, I don't think. Yeah, this lane's a lot better. Clear, we're gonna jump over. So. This is icy. This is really icy. That's really bad, actually. I think the semi trucks, he's really struggling too. But that's really bad. Dude, the semi truck can't go. I wonder if that really came across in the stream or not. I don't know. I think with the encoder issues now, it's gonna be really hard to get anything going across. But yeah, I was sliding for sure. I even started moving the car around just to see if I can find a little more traction because I just couldn't. There was nothing in that approach. Uh, Starting to get to a little icy point again here. Alright. To the left. Has to get a little slick here too. That truck just never even made an attempt to keep up. Come on. There we go. You put me on that. What's that one TV show they used to have? Ice Road Truckers or something? That might be. Just put me in there right now, dude. This is a little rough. Hope this isn't what I deal for the next 2.5 hours. Even if it is off the stream, it's gonna suck. Because we're pretty much near the end as it is. Yeah. Gonna push through the end of a Rylander and call it there. Rylander, it's the same. I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches or so. Anyways. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream. Just we're about ready to lose power here on the laptop battery. So, thank you all for watching. Until next time, y'all have a good one.